Sonic X Shadow Generations released a few weeks ago, and today we're diving deep into the Shadow Generations campaign, the new Shadow-focused story mode in Sonic X Shadow Generations. If you're familiar with Sonic Generations and loved revisiting classic Sonic moments, you might be wondering how Shadow's story compares. We'll talk about how this new mode stands out, where it feels similar, and why Shadow Generations is a big win for both Sonic and Shadow fans. What's up, everybody? My name is Danny, and we're taking a look at Shadow Generations. Let's get into it. So, let's kick things off with the storyline. If Sonic Generations was a love letter to the Blue Blur's history, Shadow Generations is like an introspective look into one of the most complicated characters in the series. While Sonic Generations has a celebratory tone, whisking Sonic through famous stages to confront the Time Eater, Shadows brings us back to the Space Colony arc. Here, Shadow faces memories of Maria, his creator Gerald Robotnik, and even the return of Black Doom, his old nemesis from Shadow the Hedgehog. The focus isn't just nostalgia, it's about Shadow confronting his past. This is huge for fans who've wanted more closure to his story, particularly around his bond with Maria and the weight of his identity as the ultimate life form. This gives the campaign an emotional edge, making it feel less like a look back and more like character exploration. It's a tonal shift from Sonic Generations' light-hearted vibe, adding depth to the game and making Shadow's journey feel personal. Sonic Generations balanced classic Sonic's side-scrolling speed with modern Sonic's 3D boost mechanics, and Shadow Generations keeps that blend but adds some unique twists. Shadow's stages are similar in structure, but with one huge difference, and that's Chaos Control. This ability lets you freeze time briefly, which is a game changer. Imagine being able to slow down those split-second platforming moments or to dodge a barrage of obstacles. It adds a whole new level of strategy that really separates Shadow's gameplay from Sonic's. And then there's Chaos Spear, which Shadow uses to take out enemies from a distance. This mechanic introduces a light combat element, something that Sonic's campaign lacks. So instead of rushing straight through enemies, Shadow stages are designed with more obstacles, strategic enemy placements, and combat movements. It's especially useful in those 3D segments where timing a Chaos Control or Chaos Spear can reveal shortcuts or collectibles, and these abilities give a totally different feel to levels you may have played before. Where Sonic Generations was about speed and reflexes, Shadow Generations adds elements that encourage players to slow down and think strategically. You're constantly figuring out the best way to use Shadow's abilities to get the most out of each level, and it's satisfying to find those hidden paths and secrets only accessible by Chaos Control. Moving on to the levels themselves, Sonic Generations was known for its fast-paced, linear levels designed for quick, exciting runs that could be over in a couple of minutes if you were speeding through them. Shadow Generations, on the other hand, takes a longer, more exploratory approach. Most levels take around 5 to 6 minutes to complete, and they're packed with alternate routes and hidden areas. One big addition here is the White Space, the open-world hub area similar to the Starfall Islands of Sonic Frontiers. Here, you're exploring, collecting, and completing challenges as well as accessing the stages in the game. This hub, though, isn't just a way to transition between those stages. It's filled with items to find, like music tracks, lore tidbits, and character artwork. If you're a completionist, you're going to spend a lot of time in White Space, and it's genuinely rewarding to unlock everything. White Space feels like a living area that adds dimension to Shadow's journey. It's a huge step up from the stage selection menu in Sonic Generations and helps make Shadow's campaign feel like a fully realized experience. It's an opportunity for players to dive deeper into Shadow's world, and it adds a lot of replayability since you'll want to come back and explore further every time you unlock new content. Speaking about content, let's talk about the visuals and soundtrack because Shadow Generations definitely doesn't hold back on atmosphere. Where Sonic Generations was vibrant and nostalgic, recreating Sonic stages with a fresh coat of paint, Shadow Generations is darker, edgier, and more atmospheric. The Space Colony arc, for example, has an eerie feel with deep shadows and darker lighting that really sets the tone. You can tell the game designers took extra care to make Shadow's world feel distinct and intense. The soundtrack also deserves a mention here. It's full of remixes of Shadow's classic themes, including tracks from Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog. These remixes are intense and give Shadow's level an adrenaline-pumping feel that matches his high-stakes mission. Even if you're not a die-hard Shadow fan, it's hard not to appreciate how well the music fits the tone. Each track pulls you into Shadow's headspace, creating an immersive experience that is true to his character. Alright, so here's a quick breakdown of the highs and lows of Shadow Generations compared to Sonic Generations. Shadow's unique mechanics bring a layer of tactical depth, creating a gameplay experience that's different from Sonic's straightforward speed. Shadow's journey feels personal and meaningful, giving fans closure and a fresh perspective on his origins. The white space hub world offers a lot more exploration, collectibles, and replayability than Sonic Generations' simple stage select. And a darker, atmospheric design paired with an intense soundtrack makes Shadow's world feel more distinct and immersive. On the other hand, some levels are more challenging due to Shadow's unique moveset, which might feel tricky for new players or Sonic fans that are used to a more straightforward approach. And although there's more exploration than Sonic Generations, some players might still feel restricted by the level structure, particularly if they're hoping for more open environments. So, is Shadow Generations worth it? Absolutely. It's not just a quick add-on, it's a fully fleshed out experience that gives Shadow fans something they've been craving for years. It respects Shadow's origins, expands his gameplay with unique mechanics, and introduces a storyline that adds real depth. Shadow Generations isn't just for the diehards of Shadow the Hedgehog, it's for any Sonic fan who wants to experience the series from a fresh perspective. If you're a fan of strategy, exploration, or just curious about Shadow's backstory, you're in for a treat. And if you played Sonic Generations, this is a fantastic way to revisit those classic levels with a new twist. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you ready to dive into Shadow's world, or is Sonic's nostalgia trip still your go-to? Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more gaming deep dives and reviews. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.